Guys, Leo, I got to bring up the elephant in the room, bro. The Mark V suit up has been released because Leo, apparently I talked Leo into buying this and then I didn't buy it. So I don't recall that, but
Yes,
I'm going to take Leo's word for it.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. We talked about Messenger. If I go back through all my messages, bro, I can find it. And I will. And you know what? As a matter of fact, I'm going to find it after the show and I'm going to post it up so everybody can see it. And this is as proof that Will said he's going to get it. And then he backed out as soon as I got mine. He's like, nah, I'm not getting it.
Just like the Tumblr, dude. Just
exactly,
like the Tumblr.
Right?
Leo, I will say I think you're going to come out the winner on this one because this head sculpt is literally stunning, bro.
Hell yeah.
I think this might be the best Tony Stark head sculpt they've done. Yeah, I mean, I literally think it's that good, especially with the helmet around it. Yeah. Leo, how happy are you with this release, bro? Because I think it came out pretty great.
I'm super happy with it, bro. It turned out really, really, really good. Is again, if you already have the Mark V, and you want to actually have that transition between both. Now, here's the thing: is like we talked about this earlier on Collectors Lounge, and Brendan brought up the simple fact that you can have two versions of this one transformation from just the case to the suit up, and then actually getting to whatever, and that would be dope. Don't get me wrong. But me, myself, I'm not going to go with getting two of these. I'm just getting one. And, I'll just have the transformation normally between. I think you can definitely pull it off with two. But it's going to look so good. I love the way the actual suit looks. The racing suit looks incredible. Like you said, that head sculpt is incredible. They definitely retooled that. I love the sculpted blood around the eyes. That looks good. Yeah, bro, they nailed it. They definitely nailed this piece, bro. And I'm so excited. I'll be excited when it comes. I didn't go the route of getting here's the thing is I should have got the deluxe, but I didn't. I just got the other version without it. I know. But I'm still cool with it. I'm good with it, bro. I love the way it looks.
Bro, I kind of want this layout, but the problem is
no, you don't.
Well, it's because Carlos, here's the deal before I let you hop in on this.
Wait a minute. I'm wrong. I did get the deluxe.
Oh, you did? I would be surprised if you didn't. Yeah,
I did get the deluxe. My bad. I was just looking at it. Go ahead.
I bet you did, bro.
Yeah, because down, bro. But never mind.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say because I feel like I can only have the Mark V or the Mark V suit up based on the space I have. I can't have both, so I have to decide. Right. So, and that's kind of the dilemma that I'm kind of experiencing. But Carlos, I want to hear your thoughts on this. Is this something that you're bringing home as Iron Man fan?
So I love Iron Man. Right. He's my guy. 100%. It's, I would always try to get as many Iron Man pieces, but unfortunately, this is not something that's going to come, that I'm not going to be picking up. Yeah. Not because it doesn't look great, because it looks amazing. By far, this is the best head sculpt the Hot Toys has done. It's not the best 1/6, head sculpt, because I own that one. Thank you very much. But I do own that. No, man, this is great. I think it looks fantastic. Liao and other people who are going to pick this up is going to look amazing, especially that iconic scene of him, getting, putting the armor on against Whiplash. It's going to look beautiful. It's going to be amazing. Yeah. Unfortunately, like I said, just not for me, because I'm going to be putting that money from this figure, or really the original Mark V, with the one with the base, the one the layout totally loves. So I'm going to be getting
the one with
that
the race
one.
Base,
right, and that's pretty pricey. So I'm like, I can't have them all. I mean, could we? Yeah, I can't do it. So anyway, happy for those that are gonna be able to get it. It looks amazing. Though, honestly, when I see this, I'm like, damn. I just say fuck the base, and I should just get this.
Yeah, bro, it's so good, man. It's so
it looks
good.
really good. Okay, if you can only have one, the suit up or the Mark V with that base that Leo loves, which one would you get?
That's the dilemma. I don't have the base, but so Carlos, I'm starting to think that I almost might take this one, and the reason why is because this would free me up to get the Mark III. Because then if I sell my Mark V, probably at a loss, and then I get this one, right? Then I'll wait for this one to be discounted, and then also I could get the Mark III and still have enough Iron Man, I think, to fulfill my collection. But and this one would be unique enough because it's a suit up. Yeah, I'm starting to think I like this better, but I don't know. The Mark V is pretty fucking dope by itself.
I love the Mark V.
The reason is that at this point, the only missing suit is the Mark VI and the Mark IV, right? At this point, because they've redone them all. They're gonna redo the Mark II because it's just a simple repaint, and especially the Mark IV. I'm like, yeah, but I want to be able to get the chance to redoing that Hall of Armor. I had it at one point, right? but like the Mark 1 was small, the Mark 2 and 3 they were all undersized. Mark 1 wasn't die cast. So now I'm like, man, I just don't want to miss the opportunity of having that Mark 5 with the base. This one just looks really good though.
It does.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It'll be hard for me to, like, if this one was to get like, I don't know, man. I don't want, because if I keep talking, I'm gonna convince myself to fucking get it. I don't want to do that.
I know. And we got a good question. I want to address this question real quick before we move on to our next topic. So the gentleman sorry to cover Lael's face. Can you guys explain why this figure had a grand total of 4 minutes of screen time and is a musket when the integrated suit we just saw that he had wore for 3/5 of the movie isn't? Really good question. Honestly, it looks cooler. And also the scene, right? If it really comes down to that, as simplistic as it is for collectors, like it's not necessarily about the amount of screen time, because there's like, for example, in the original Avengers film, Loki wore that King outfit very infrequently. He wore it only in a couple scenes, really.
Yeah.
But still, most people would rather have that look than any other Loki look, right? Yeah. Same goes for Iron Man, because while Iron Man 2 is not a great film, it's an iconic scene, because this is one of the best suit ups. And it's also one of the coolest looking suits. Whereas integrated suit, he wears it for most of the film, and No Way Home is probably is really a better film than this. However, it's like it doesn't look cool enough for most people, and it doesn't have enough like iconic scenes. What do you guys think?
So you want to go first, Leo?
No, well, for me, bro, like I said, it's just, really quick, and I keep it brief. It was just a cool suit. I mean, this is literally one of the dopest suits, from me. And I think it's all built off of personal preference. We all have our favorites. The Mark V is always going to be my favorite cinematically. You know what I mean? Because it was a suit that, yes, it had minimal time, but it was just cool to see somebody, using a suitcase. This is classic Tony Stark. You know what I mean? Like, to see something like that was incredible. And, for the minimal amount of time that we see it on screen, yes, truly it was, but still, it was just such an iconic scene. You know what I mean? And it obviously was because of the response and on the simple fact that demand and people want it. So that's what I would say.
Yeah. I think, the integrated suit and V Collectibles, so if anyone's interested in this, but V Collectibles is an Instagram account. He was doing the Tom Holland custom sculpt where he was beat up after he fought Green Goblin.
Mm-hmm.
If the integrated suit would have gotten that head sculpt, I think then maybe you could have been like, it was just such a crazy part of the movie. Is right before he teamed up with the other two Spider-Mans. Then maybe that could have made, with the base and that bloody head sculpt and everything around it, then maybe. But also, this head sculpt is by far the best Hot Toys has done in Robert Downey Jr. And we both know that the integrated suit sculpt is subpar to that last suit shown in No Way Home, or at least what Hot Toys had shown. So we already saw that one, and it's like, well, this was fucking great. And this other one is like, well, it's a step below, right? So because of that, we're like, well, not only is this one cooler, but this one even has now the much better head sculpt, or something we'll probably never see again. So I think it's just,
And you know what? Like, when we think about it, like, how much, when we think about screen time, how much really, originally from OT films, how much screen time did Boba Fett really have?
Right.
Minimal, right?
That's a good example.
But it's still the go-to suit. Like, everybody still loves that suit. Like, it's still their favorite suit. So again, it just depends on how cool the suit and the mystery surrounding it. Because number one, we didn't really get a chance to see too much from it. I don't know. I still don't know if this suit could take flight, because we didn't get a chance to see it.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it's just surrounding that, just like it's something that you would want to see. So yeah, minimal time, but I think it's just the mystery behind it, and it was just such a cool suit. So
yeah, and I think it's a really good question. I think it is by I forget the viewer, but it was a really good question. And what I think is, screen time is almost like not that important, I guess, in the eyes of collectors. It's kind of like, for example, the red and blue suit, the Spider-Man suit that everyone's going crazy for, not just because of the updates and improvements that have been made, but everyone wanted that suit, and it was in this movie like literally 20 seconds. Like, it was, and they didn't really do that much besides jump through the snow in it. So, but nonetheless, it's everyone's favorite because it just looks classic Spidey and looks really cool, right? So,
and Will, what? I was talking about this earlier today, bro. It's like, Carlos, you might find this interesting as well. It's like, I'm not really, I always prided myself on not really being, I love the Iron Man comics, but I was like, I'm not going to get too many of the armors. But then when you start thinking about it, when you start getting real picky about certain armors that you get this piece, you get that piece, Like I love that, I love the mech test suit. I love it. I love that. If something about it is just incredible to me, and I just love it. So when you start doing it, and then you sit back and you realize how many Iron Man suits you have, it's like, damn, maybe I am an Iron Man fan.
Right.
It's like you don't think about it until you really just step back and you look at all your shit, and you're like, damn, I did collect a lot of these damn Iron Man figures. So
yep.
Yeah, bro, it's crazy.
It's true, bro.
Well, it's just such an iconic character. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys, we're going to move on from Iron Man there. And